Welcome everyone to my channel. If you haven't been here before, please sit down. We are going to talk about Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. Okay. Before we get any further, a fox shapeshifter sworn to hide a mysterious scroll. A secret assassin under orders to kill to obtain it. 1,000 years ago, the great kami dragon was summoned to grant a single terrible wish in the empire of Iwagoto was thrown into an age of darkness and chaos. Now, for whoever holds the scroll of 1,000 prayers, a new wish will be granted. A new age is about to dawn. Raised by monks in the isolated Silent Wind Temple, Yumiko has trained all her life to hide her true nature. Half kitsune, half human, Yumiko has a skill with illusion that is matched only by her perchance for mischief until the day her home is burned to the ground. Her adopted family is brutally slain, and she is forced to flee with the temple's greatest treasure. One part of the ancient scroll. Mysterious samurai Kage Tatsume of the Shadow Clan is under orders to retrieve the scroll at any cost. When chance brings them together, an uneasy alliance is formed, offering Yumiko her best hope for survival. Knowing he seeks what she has hidden away, Yumiko begins the deception of a lifetime, with an army of demons at her heels and the unlikeliest of allies at her side. Yumiko knows that her secrets are more than a matter of life or death. They are the key to the fate of the world itself. I listened to the audible of this, and let me tell you, it was really good. I liked how when Yumiko's... There's 3 narrators, okay? And each one switched back and forth. 2 females and 1 male. Though they should have done 2 females and 2 male, even though one of the female and one of the male wouldn't have had very many chapters to speak, it still would have been better. Because you meet Suki in like the first chapter, and she's got like 3 whole chapters altogether for her. And so you got her, and then you got Yumiko's chapters, which are read by a female, and then Tatsumi's, which are read by a male. Now, the only thing that probably would have been better was if it was dramatized, because the switching of the characters and how they spoke is a little weird. Like, the male speaking for Yumiko was weird, and then for Yumiko's side, speaking for Tatsumi was just... it was a little weird, but it was pretty cool to mark the changes of the chapters, because they would even read out the chapter, say chapter whatever and the name of the chapter, and then read on, so you would know that, hey, this is the male version. There's one chapter where the male character's voice does not really match up with what's happening in that perspective, and that kind of puts you outside of how you're listening to it. So I'm hoping that, like, maybe in the second book they have 4 actors or something, maybe more. I would like that, because it doesn't immerse you very well when you're going back and forth like that. Like, for example, the one for the Ronin in this, I think we've crossed the border, Kage-san, is like, one voice, right? That'd be like the man talking. And for the girl who's talking to be, I think we've crossed the border, Kage-san. And it's just like, not the same voice, It just didn't do very well. But I still enjoyed the book. I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, and I do mean a lot. I enjoyed the book. I was captivated in the very first chapter, which is always good, and I thought in the first chapter the main character that's in it, the main character for that chapter, was actually the main character of the story. And I was just like, oh, this is a little weird, because it says something about the temple, but then she's in the palace. And then you kind of find out it's Suki. She's a servant. She technically gets sold to work at the palace for a concubine, the emperor's favorite concubine, Lady Satomi, because her father is weak and he's dying, even though he makes the most beautiful flutes in the world. And so because of that, he's like, I can't offer you much, so here, go do this. You know, more of a protection thing. But Lady Satomi is a bitch, and she's also a blood witch, blood mage, blood whatever. And she had Suki killed by an Oni. And Suki's body died, and Suki became a spirit that haunted the castle that she died at, and haunted Lady Satomi whenever she went to the castle. And then you get to Yumiko, who is like goofing off, having fun, doing everything that she wants to do. Of course, lamenting the fact that she's got people who will make her do, you know, chores, like, oh, I light out all these candles with my foxfire magic, and then I'm going to have to scrub the floors and all of the temple for doing it. And then, she leaves to go talk. She leaves to go have some fun after she learns about the temple's true nature, which is to... Anyways, it's to hold on to the ancient scroll part of the prayer, Dragon's Prayer, and keep it safe. And that Yumiko is destined to protect it, either because her destiny is tied to the scroll. So either with her the world will be saved, or with her the world will be destroyed. She's in the thick of it. So Yumiko goes out. She doesn't know how to handle it. She doesn't know how to handle everything, so she just leaves the temple for a little while. And then we switch over to Kage Tatsumi. He kills a giant-ass spider, which they call them, if I remember, I don't remember right, but I don't remember how to say it right, Jorogomu, which is a type of spider yokai that had been summoned and was being fed samurais by the person whose castle she was in. You know, back then, a lot of daimyos had castles and big-ass things besides the emperor's palace. And so he was there to kill the spider, which he did do. Of course, he had to rely on some of the sword's power, which is Hakamono. What the... You know, I just got done listening to this today, and I don't remember his name at all. The blade is called Kamigoroshi, right? But that's not the name of the demon that's inside the blade that Tatsumi uses. Hakamono. So Hakamono is a demon that's been sealed away in this blade for 400 years by the Kage family, which are the Shadow clan. And Tatsumi is a shinobi who presents himself sometimes, so when he travels around, as a samurai to keep his identity as a shinobi secret. And he was chosen from a young age to be trained in how to wield Hakamono, the Kamigoroshi, which is the demon slayer. Well, the god slayer, demon slayer, whatever it is, sword. So he has to keep his clamp on his emotions, don't show nothing, don't trust nobody, just keep clamp on emotions and do as you are told, because you are a weapon, you have no feelings, you don't matter. You don't. You could die and they wouldn't care. His whole mission in life is to obey the Kage clan and do everything that they want to do. He gets summoned by the head honcho, the daimyo, which is called Lady Honcho. Lady Honcho says, I want you to go fetch me a scroll at the Silent Winds Temple. So he sets out to do that. So we go back to Yumiko, and Yumiko is talking to this old tanuki who's like, well, not tanuki, this old kitsune. He's like, you need to decide what you want to be. Do you want to be fully human and embrace your human side and forget about your kitsune side, or do you want to be fully kitsune and get away from your human side? She's like, it's better to actually embrace your kitsune side, because kitsunes are free to do whatever the hell they want, whenever the hell they want, and not hide themselves. But Yumiko's like, but I was raised to embrace both, and I don't know how to be either human or kitsune fully. I know how to be half. That's what I need. That's what I know. So she's just confused. When she gets back, her whole entire temple is on fire. She goes and dodges demons and tries to trick demons and gets into the temple where her priest is, the head priest is. Oh God, what is his name? What is her head priest's name? Master Isao. So Master Isao is in there with all the other Buddhist monks, all the other monks in this temple, and they're holding up a barrier, trying to keep the Oni and the demons out, waiting for Yumiko. So when she gets in there, she's like, well, what can we do, Master Isao? He says, take this scroll, take this furoshiki, and run. You need to get to another temple. There's another temple, yes. It's the Steel Feather Temple. Master Jiro is a head priest at the Hayate Shrine within the Sun Palace, the capital city of the Sunlands. And he knows where the Steel Feather Temple is. You need to take the scroll to that temple where the monks there, can protect it. You have to do this. And so she runs away with it, just as Master Isao is coming up against the Oni. To Tatsumi. Tatsumi is getting closer to the temple. And then he gets attacked by demons. He loses his horse, and he's fighting him off. And then Yumiko appears, and he saves her from the demons. And she's like, "Don't go up there. The temple's been destroyed. Everybody's dead. I'm the sole survivor. There's an Oni up there, and you can't defeat him." And so he's like, "Well, I came up there to get something." And she's like, "The scroll. Yes, I know. The scroll was sent away days ago, and it's gone to the Steel Feather Temple. Master Isao will not tell me how to get there. Master Isao did not tell me how to get there, so I have to go talk to this guy named Master Jiro at the Hayate Shrine. He should tell me how to get to the Steel Feather Temple, and when we get there, the scroll will be there." Then she's got the scroll in the back in her furoshiki. And thus she says, "Hi, why don't you come along, be my protector, and you can find the Steel Feather Temple and the scroll, so long as you keep me safe and get me there." So the unlikeliest duos team up. And the rest of it's to travel to the Hayate Shrine and beyond. They don't go much further than the Hayate Shrine and the castle. So they team up and they do a bunch of things. I had like a list of chapters. I could probably go through and tell you a bunch of stuff that happens in each chapter, because the chapters give away a lot of stuff. Chapter titles give away a lot of stuff about what's happening in them. So it's really, really interesting. Part 2. Oh yeah, Suki is Demon Slayer hears about Yaburama from Jinjuku, which is the demon world, and Lady Satomi being everything. And then she's like, go find them. She summons her demons because she realizes that the Oni failed. And she's like, go find them and show me what I cannot. Show me what I'm dealing with. Right? So, Tatsumi, they're being followed by crows, but he sort of ignores it. And he tells, though they're nothing. So, they get to a city, or a town, or whatever, and he gets summoned, and he speaks to the person, and the person's like, "You are the bearer of the cursed blade, Kamagoroshi, Hakamano, whatever you wish to call it, the sword that has corrupted the souls of better men than you. We are here to keep an eye on you to make sure you don't go rogue, or kill, and then we have to thus kill you, And that's when you meet the weasels. Oh yes, the weasels. So there's this Wind Witch. And her name, doesn't matter. The Wind Witch has what is called the Kami Itachi, which are sickle weasel. They're yokai. Sickle weasel yokai. And she controls them. And when she runs away, she gets tracked. Well, she runs away from an inn and follows the wind because it's pulling her someplace. And she gets confronted by this woman. I think the Wind Witch says her name is Mistress Kazekira, because she's a Wind Witch, and she has the thing. Now, she Yumiko gets saved before she gets torn to pieces by someone named Seigetsu-sama. And he's like, she's like, well, do you know this happening? He's like, no, I don't. But, I want to play a game with you. Do you want to play a game with me? She's like, oh, well, I'm going to leave because I don't want to play a game with you because I know I'm going to lose. And she's like, oh, okay. So that's where she learns about the scroll and the people coming after him. Tatsumi thinks, actually, that the Wind Witch attacked Yumiko because of him and not because of Yumiko. If you can believe that. They go through this forest, and the forest says, shh, be quiet, don't make a sound, or else you'll wake up this bear, the demon bear. Of the demon Mori. Now, the demon bear, I believe he had a name. Onikumu. The Onikumu. And they try to go through and be silent about it, and they're crossing a bridge, and the Wind Witch comes back, she attacks them both, and she wakes up the bear, and Tatsumi defeats the bear, and Yumiko saves Tatsumi from being killed, by pushing, pushing her out of the way and grabbing onto her obi. Now, Seigetsu-sama sat there and told her something about how the Kami-itachi always come in threes, and they're very, 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 very protective of each other and will do anything for each other. So she finds the third weasel, which is turned into this little thing, and she gives it back to the Kami-itachi, and they destroy the Wind Witch. They stop in a tree to sleep, and these spirits called Kodama come along, and they want to thank him for what he did, and they give him a leaf, and this leaf is supposed to summon them, I believe. He finds out that she can speak to Kami, because the Kami talk to her in songs, and she speaks. And so they're like, well, he's like, I had no choice, and I wanted to. And she's like, I have a gift for you. Because the bear had been corrupted from its hunger and became no longer a bear, but a demon bear, and was destroying the forest, and now the forest can come back. So they give him a leaf, and the leaf signifies that you are a friend of the forest. So if you're ever in need of the Kami's help, whisper your request out loud and release it into the wind. It will carry your message to any nearby Kodami, who will aid you in whatever way they can. So he takes the leaf begrudgingly, he doesn't really want to accept it, and puts it away. Wish the motherfucker would have used it. But he didn't, ever. And then they meet the Ronin. Okame. So Okami is a Ronin who targets them, obviously, because he's part of a band and he wants money and food and stuff like that. And so he tells his people, hey, look, I found these people, let's rob them, but leave them alone. The leader says, oh, we're going to rob them, we'll keep you alive, we'll just let the shadow guy go, Shadow Kage go, Kage Satsumi go, but we're going to keep Yumiko, because Yumiko is going to become my girl, she's going to warm my body at night. That's so terrible. That's just so freaking terrible. Anyways, Okami didn't like that, so he switched sides and helped Tatsumi protect Yumiko, and then decides to join them on their trip and gets them into the Sun territory without going through the border check. Yeah. There's that. They make it to this forest because they're going over the mountain, right? And they should never. They get into this forest called Mabushi, and they're very welcoming. They're feeding them up, giving them food, and putting them up in their little inn thing. And that's when they learn that the village is actually cursed. So, a couple of decades ago, a monk came into the village, hungry, looking for food, but the people there were greedy, very, very greedy, and they would not give him even a bowl of freaking rice to eat to save him from starvation. And in his death, as he died, them in vengeance. So when one of them dies, they come back as a gaki, a hungry eating yokai, who will stop at nothing to eat anything and everything, living, that is. So they eat people too. So the village had to learn how to live with that. Live with their people dying and coming back to eat them. So the head honcho is like, doesn't tell them that, but they find out eventually by kicking down his door after defeating a bunch of gaki. And she's like, I think I know how to stop the curse. So she and Tatsumi go to speak to the monk in the graveyard to see if he can't lift the curse with Okami backing him up. And the monk's like, I wish I could. I'm tired. I'm so tired. And I never should have done this. I never should have cursed him. I never should have had vengeance on my lips when I died. The head guy comes along and goes, here, please stop. Take my life. Take my life and spare my village. Please. Okay? I will do anything. And it's just a bowl of rice. And he's like, that's all I wanted. Curse lifted. The curse is lifted. All because Yumiko wanted to help. All because Yumiko wanted to help. Oh, and before that happened, or maybe after that happened. Anyways, Tatsumi has a talk with a demon, a small child, one-eyed demon. And the demon's like, my master sent me to tell you to not get involved with the scroll. Because the scroll is very dangerous, and there are many people who will keep coming after you if you get involved with the scroll. Leave it alone. And it's like, okay, but if you guys interfere with me again, I'm going to end your life. And he's like, no, kill me, right? It's very something. Oh, let me get another one about the blood Lady Satomi. So she realizes that everything's failed for that. Oh, I forgot about that. She did deliver something, finds another company to deliver it to the Hayate Shrine. They wanted to invite an invitation to the palace for the Hayate Shrine. And then she's like, you there? Are you still hanging around, Suki-chan? Poor lost lingering soul. Bitch. She, of course, called forth a centipede to come out of her arm to go fight the monster, to go fight, to kill Tatsumi and Yumiko. And she kind of freaks Suki out. Poor Suki. Poor Suki. So then they hear about this legend of the Oni no Mikoto, which is a demon prince who meets you on a bridge and says you have to defeat me or turn away, because you're not crossing this bridge unless you defeat me. And it's only at nighttime that he actually does it too. So they're like, oh, that's a little crazy. And anyone who fights him dies. Yeah. So they actually do meet him. And he's like, me and the samurai are going to fight. And whoever is going to live and whoever is going to die. And then he finds out that he's the demon slayer. And he's like, oh, that's even more. Kage Tatsumi, I want to fight you. Because this is the challenge of a lifetime. And then they get attacked by a centipede. Giant ass centipede. Yumiko tries to distract him. Or distract the centipede. And it follows her up a tree. And that's when she figures other things out. Because she figured out about the eye too. That its eye was vulnerable, and then it figures out that its underbelly is vulnerable. So, between Okami shooting it in the eye, and then Tatsumi cutting it in half, well, it's up a tree and vulnerable, they kill it. Yay! And so they're like, she's like, well, Yumiko-chan, you saved me, so I will grant you a boon. And she's like, Put off your fight. Do not fight right now. I need him alive until I get to the Steel Feather Temple. He's like, very well. I will do so. But I will travel with you to ensure that Tatsumi does not die before our battle. That's so fucking funny. So now she has somebody else. And guess what? His name is Taiyo Daisuke. Now, there's a thing about this. Okay. Suki ran into Taiyo Daisuke, who was playing a flute. And she had a crush on him. And Daisuke remembered her who she was. Remembered her. And how she disappeared. And he thought it was curious. And so, there's all of that. Sorry, I'm babysitting a kid right now. Okay? So, there's just, oh my god, so many things going on and interconnecting in a way that is different. So, they make it into the capital. And they get led to the shrine. Okay? In the shrine, they make their prayers. And then they meet Reiko, the head priestess there. Who is, head shrine maiden there. Who is there to, keep watch over things. So she speaks to Reika. Reika actually traps her because she sees that she's a fox, half fox, and wants to know why she's there and looking for Master Jiro. And she's like, I come from this temple. I'm told to go to this temple because I have the Dragon's Prayer, one third of the scroll, and I need to get to this temple to protect it. And she's like, well, Master Jiro isn't here. But he told me about the scroll. He told me about the prayer. She's like, I suppose he didn't tell me where to find the temple for my protection. And she's like, so Suki's like, you'll let me speak to the Master Jiro? She's like, I would if I knew where he was. She's like, what do you mean? Well, 3 days ago, he got summoned from the palace to go to the palace, and I haven't seen him since. But I know he's there. And then Tatsumi breaks in because he thought something was strange when he ran into a barrier, an Ofuda barrier. And so they have this discussion about what they're going to do, and then some shamans come in and says, hey, look, there's somebody here. So like, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. There's a moon viewing festival that's going to happen tomorrow night, and we're going to go in. You, who Taiyo-san, Daisuke-san, believes to be an Onomyoji, which is a shrine maiden, a very, very Onmyoji, which is practitioners of Onmyodo, which is an occult magic focusing primarily on divination and fortune telling. She's a highly respected one. At least that's what he thinks. So he's like, I'll bring you, and the shrine maidens will come along to do a little dance thing, and we'll get in that way. Okay? So that's what they made a plan of. So Tatsumi gets summoned by his clan, and he goes to his clan, and unfortunately, the person I don't like the most, Master Iemon, who was the one who trained Tatsumi by doing a lot of terrible, torturous things to make sure his body did not react to his emotions, so that way he could keep Hakaimono out of his head and not possessing him. But he gets interrupted by Masao, who is a higher court member, and they have this argument back and forth, and then they, of course, Aimon-san has to bow out. So Masao sits there and speaks about what's going on, and they learn about, he learns about Lady Satomi, he learns about where they're going, what they're doing for doing this for Lady Hansho's Lady Hansho's request. And he's like, very well. And in the end, what I want you to do is I want you to kill Yumiko after you get everything. After you get the scroll. You have to kill her. So they go to the moon viewing party. And Yumiko performs a trick on the Emperor, pretending to see the future and saying there's a intruder and it's just a rabbit in a garden. And it's illusion, fox magic, of course. And Satomi's like, that was a good illusion, but it wasn't one trick that was going to work on me. And so she's like, I will give you Master Jiro. I'm done with him anyways. He didn't give me anything that I wanted. I'm tired of having him. So follow me. She leads him to his storeroom with a mirror and steps through the mirror. And then they step into the mirror to somewhere far the fuck away. I believe it's like the Sky territory for the Sky Clan. And like it's deserted and everybody's like dead and things in there because it's like dead, destroyed. The Sky Clan territory. There was a vassal of the Sora family was laid in ruins. This castle area. And so they didn't understand why. Well, we do. Satomi used all the people that lived there to summon all the demons that she did into the world, because you have to summon them by sacrificing blood, human blood, mortal blood, in order to do it. Okay. So they get there and they face up against the Oni. So Tatsumi's like, I'll deal with this, you guys go ahead. And Daisuke's like, I will stay here to protect you. And Okuma's like, I will help you out. The rest of you, go. So the Shrine Maiden with her guardian, Chu, and Yumiko head on. And Yumiko's like, Tatsumi, that's the Oni who destroyed the temple and killed everyone there. Please, be careful. But if you can, tear him apart for me. They get inside the palace looking for him, following Chu in this little spectral light, right? Because they think it's there to help. And some demons called the Amanjaku attack. And Yumiko releases her fox magic to attack and fight. And the only way she knows how. So she made a bunch of Yumikos, and she made a bunch of Reikas, and a bunch of Chus. And then she turned herself into an Amanjaku and went around, stole this helmet, which made her like the captain, and she just started stabbing the Amanjaku and sending them back to Jigoku. Just casually doing it. And in the end, she has to turn back into herself because Chu is about to kill her. And Raiko is about to attack her. But they made it out. And then they found the master. Ko and the master. Ko is the other guardian of the Hayate Shrine, because there's two guardians at the Tori Gate. Ko and Chu, and the priest is there, Master Jiro. And they're like, oh no, Yabimaru, they're dead. So they free him, and yay, they get back. Now, Yabimaru starts attacking Tatsumi, and instead of killing him immediately, he just starts thrashing Tatsumi until he snaps. And when he snaps, Hakamono comes down, and Hakamono hacks him to pieces. Yabimaru to pieces. And then they meet face to face with Yumiko. That's when Tatsumi, inside of his own body, learns that Yumiko is actually a half fox and been lying to him the whole time. And so he's like, he was about to trust you. He was very close. You destroyed that trust. You have destroyed that trust. And he's like, don't worry, I'll come back and kill you all. And then he leaves. So Okame, Daisuke, they also learn that she's half fox. They also learn about the Dragon Scroll and how she's going to try to get to the Steel Feather Temple. And Okame's like, I'm going. Daisuke's like, I'm going. And I apologize for not being able to protect Tatsumi, but we're going to go. And then she's like, is there a way to save Tatsumi from Hakamono? That's what she wants to do. He's like, when we get to a safe place, I will tell you about everything. I will tell you about it all. But first we have to treat Tayo-san's wounds. And we still don't know where Lady Satomi is. Not to mention Hakamono. So when we get safe, we'll talk about it. And I'll tell you the story of the Shadow Clan, the Dragon Sprayer, a woman named Lady Hansho, and the cursed sword named Kamigoroshi that is tied to them all. I'm going to be thinking the Lady Hansho is immortal. Old age immortal, but immortal nonetheless. Anyways, The epilogue is where Satomi steps out where her emperor is sleeping, summons, gets his cloth out, gets his skull out over this cloth, and she speaks about how everything is going to plan, and he's like, don't think so well, but I'll wait for your report on everything going well, and remember who you serve. And she's like, don't worry, I do. And then she's like, I will be the one in control, not you. And then she turns around and comes face to face with her maid, who she doesn't remember the maid's name. But the maid turns into a man. And she's scared of this man. This man actually, he stabbed her as he was looking like the maid. And guess who it is? Segetsu-sama. And the small, childlike yokai with the enormous eye in the center is his underling. So there's a little kid's master that had talked to Tatsumi about staying away from everything. He's like, I'm afraid I can't allow the boy to die just yet. And the little half fox is interesting. I wonder if she'll be strong enough to bring the demon slayer back. Akamoto might yet meet his match in this game. I suppose we'll have to wait and see what she does. And then he tells the little spirit, Satomi is dead. So be happy and go. And she, the spirit, Suki, follows him. And they both disappear into the night. I like the way this was, because there is a lot of emotion in Yumiko and a lot of emotions in Tatsumi. Tatsumi actually gained emotions. I think he was actually starting to fall in love with Yumiko. So I'm hoping, beyond all hope, that when the third book, I get to it, in the end, they become lovers. And Tatsumi's not part of his evil clan. And Hakamono is no longer an evil demon, but a happy one who serves them and helps them out. And of course, Okame is still there, serving Yumiko, protecting Yumiko, and Daisuke-san is also part of it. Maybe I'll like Reika in Master Jiro, but I don't know. But I think it was reasonably paced, not too fast, not too slow, with enough pacing downtime in between them lurching from one crisis to the next. And technically, when you're going cross country, you're always going to have problems going cross country. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that right now. You're always going to have a hard time. Something's always going to go wrong, which is normal. So it's normal breaks, normal things that they run into, and normal issues with traveling. But everything is different. The fight between the Kamiitachi, the fight with the bear, the Gaki, and how to solve that. And the best part about it all is that I really, really, really loved. Is that the words in here, there are words in here that are actually in Japanese. And what makes it even better is that she has this little glossary at the back for all the words that she uses. Yeah, all the words she uses. So if you don't know what a word is, even though they give you lots of hints of what they are, like sometimes they'll sit there and say the word afterwards, like they'll say arigato, and then there's like, and I thank her again. I thank them again. So, arigato is, of course, thank you. And it's all here. And it's really nice because they actually say those words in everything. And the best part is that, of course, her last name is Kagawa. So, obviously, she's obviously got some kind of, Japanese in her. Even though she was born in Sacramento. Her last name is Japanese. And I mean, she looks Japanese. So, she's probably half Japanese, half English. Or half American. Or whatever. But that's besides the point. So she obviously knows Japanese very well. And I love the way that she, in terms of the book, it's really nice to have that in a book. I really loved it, and it was like awesome. And I was like, hey, I know this word. I didn't need your help. I knew it. Yay. You know, that type of stuff. That was really nice. So, my favorite character in this is actually Tatsumi, because he goes from being completely emotionless to being having feelings for Yumiko. My most dislike Satomi, Lady Satomi. She's just evil beyond evil. So very evil. And it's just, I'm so glad she died in the end. I'm so glad she got her comeuppance and died. But I'm wondering who's going to be the evil in the next book. Who's going to be evil in the next book? Who's taking her place? Because obviously somebody has to. So there's that. What stood out as memorable? That talk about the Japanese words and having the translations in them and being able to figure out what they mean on your own. It's really, really nice. I love it. Because she intermingles them, and it's so great. I love it. What book did it make me think of? Not a book, but manga, because when they're translated, they do actually use the Japanese words for certain things within them, and that's what that reminds me of. What did I think about the book or the ending? Well, I'm really sad that Tatsumi has been taken over by Hakamono. Really glad that Yumiko saved Master Jiro. He's alive, and I'm really happy that Lady Satomi is dead. So very happy that she's dead. You have no clue. I'm so happy. It's so wonderful. Let's see. This book is part of a series called The Shadow of the Fox, and there's 3 books in it. So, yeah, I've got 2 more books to read, and I'm so excited to start the series, because I've had this on my shelf for a while. Because, this is the reason why I bought it, the name of the book, okay? And I'm really glad I did, because it's really good. I really enjoyed it. Do I have a favorite quote? Now, that was interesting. Do I have a favorite quote? The way, no. I don't have a favorite quote, I guess you could say, but what I do like is that Yumiko, who has been isolated her whole life, does not get idioms. She doesn't get idioms at all. And Okami uses a bunch of idioms, and she literally takes it for serious. She's like, he talks about, there'll be a bunch of monkeys there, and we'll show honor to them. Oh, no. For samurais, you can dishonor everything. Dishonor the monkeys. Dishonor this. Dishonor that. Oh, you're gonna fight because you got dishonored because of monkeys? You dishonored the monkeys? And Kami's like, what the hell? No. Or like, there's gonna be monkeys there, and they're gonna respect the monkeys. Just like, monkeys get respected at this party? But aren't they dirty and nasty and not fit for an imperial palace? She does not get none of it at all because of how sheltered she is. I don't really think I have a favorite passage in this, because a lot of things go on in this, and I was just enjoying it. I really was. But I suppose my favorite passage would have to be somewhere towards the end. Okay, I found my favorite quote. So, not my favorite quote, my favorite passage. I was trembling, not with fear, but with the thrill of using so much fox magic all at once. Never in my 16 years had I been allowed to unleash my full power, to really see what my magic could do. It was exciting and heating and a little bit frightening, knowing what I was capable of. Was this the power Master Sao warned me about? What the others were afraid of? Kitsune magic is power of illusion. You might think it's useful only for mischief, but saying something that isn't there or making people believe you are someone else entirely, can be dangerous. Terrifying force. Use it carefully. least you become an instrument of chaos. So, yeah, there you go. That would be my favorite passage. When she's high on using her own fax magic freely, and she's never been able to do it before. I'm going to give this book a 4.5. Okay, I'm giving this a 4.5 because of the death. Not the death. Because of Hakamano taking over Tatsumi. That's really the point that I didn't. I mean, not that I didn't like. I mean, I loved it. I liked it. I really was into it. So I don't know. I'm just giving it a 4.5. It's not a complete 5. Or maybe I should put it a 5. You know what? After thinking about it and everything, I'm gonna put this as a 5 because that's what I wanted to put it as. Yeah, a 5. Is there anything else that I missed in this? No, that's it. I rate this a 5. I enjoyed it. I really did. It's a 5-star read to me. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I really thought it was hooked on me, and I couldn't wait to read more of it every time I got into it. I'm so excited to finish it today. You guys have no idea how excited I was to finish this today. Drum rolls for it. So, if you guys think I deserve a like, comment, or read, a lovely subscription, why don't you go ahead and drop it down below. See you next illusion.